My name is Neo. I've been on a journey for a while, for the last 18 months, and it started in December 2010 when I wrote down the following. TV shows are bad. It makes people feel bad about themselves. All the soaps send the wrong message. That parents are selfish, children are disrespectful. There's arguments, there's immorality. There was no positive messages. And I asked the question, why not? I thought about one show which purported to improve women's perception of themselves, but then there was nothing wrong with the women. I then thought about magazines, especially female ones. The messages they convey are negative ones. Newspapers, TV shows, magazines reinforce negativity in women, designed to make women hate their bodies and hate themselves. And it destroys women's self-esteem. And I asked myself the question, why? I wrote women and body image, positive and negative people, religion, government. There's just so many rules. And it seemed to me that it was all about control, that they don't want people to be free. In December 2010, I wrote the following. There has been economic progress, but there has been a collapse of economies worldwide, and that we had reached as far as we had to go. That the governments didn't seem to know what they were doing, but it's all about the control. Everything is to control us. And they are afraid that the people will wake up to the realization that we don't need government. People just need people. I then wrote this. The governments know something. Because everything is more and more complicated in people's lives. More demands are made on the people, keeping everyone off balance the whole time. Relentless legislation and changes being implemented. And the purpose of this is to keep minds of what people need to realize. I then thought about education and subjects being taught in school, but some to me were missing. What about psychology, philosophy, relationships, time management, money management, languages, business, finance, law? Why do they teach the subjects that they teach, which in many cases are uninspiring, boring, and just wholly irrelevant for life outside of school? And I thought this, is it that education is designed to mold people, for people not to think for themselves, to do as they are told, to conform, struggle within a narrow framework? Because it's not preparing them for careers or the outside world. It is to dictate, to mold, to reinforce what you must do and what you must think. So then I started to read. And the more I read, the clearer everything became. I had started on a journey, a path if you will, to find the answers to these questions. And I began to ask why. Why teach the subjects they do? Why teach what they do in history? Why not teach the subjects which really matter? Why not teach law in schools? Because it affects everybody's lives in a huge way. Why did the government want people to be ignorant of the law? Why is the news negative? Why is there never any good news? Why are the soaps so negative, showing discord, disharmony and dysfunction within relationships? Why do the newspapers have negative headlines and carry negative articles? Where is the good news? Why are all government departments incompetent or inefficient? Why does nothing work? Why? 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 As an intelligent man once said, the wise make wise. So over the next year, I read numerous books, and some books gave a broad outline and other books made reference to texts from other titles. And the more I read, the more I sought understanding, the more coincidences then seemed to occur. People started telling me about books to read. In bookshops, some titles struck me as significant, or I was drawn to some books. And everything I have read has led me to where I am now. There are some authors that I will refer to throughout my talks. And their work is more than important. It is fundamental in understanding not only the whys, but also the whats. What do you need to know? What do you need to do? The when is easy. It is now. One book I read was The Rules of Life by Richard Templar. And this book is recommended. Try and read it and absorb it and practice it. Because what he says is right and it's simple. And by following these rules, it will change your life dramatically. I will quote some of what he says to give you a perspective on the brilliant simplicity of what he says. He starts thus: you are about to embark on a life-changing adventure. You are about to discover ways to become positive, happier, more successful in everything you do. What a brilliant start. He says there's no need to say anything to anybody about it. The first rule is, don't preach or try to convert or shout it from the rooftops. But you will get a warm glow from changing your attitude to life and having people ask, what is it you have done or are doing? And you can say, it's nothing much. But just do it quietly, get on with it, and go about your daily life happily and smugly without having to tell anybody anything. Another rule which he offers, and this benefits you: accept that what is done is done. Because he says people make mistakes, sometimes serious ones, and as often as not, the mistakes are not deliberate or personal. Sometimes people just don't know what they're doing. This means that if, in the past, people behaved badly towards you, it wasn't necessarily because they meant to be horrid, but because they were as naive and as foolish and as human as the rest of us. They made mistakes in the way they brought you up or finished a relationship. Not because they wanted to do it that way, but because they didn't know any different. And if you want to, you can let go of any feelings of resentment, of regret, of anger. You can accept that you are a fabulous human being. What is done is done. You just need to get on with the things you need to do. Yes, some of it was bad, but it's how we let it affect us which is the real bad. But you can let all these things get you down, fizzle away internally like some emotional acid, making you ill and resentful and stuck. But you will let them go. Embrace them as character forming, and in general see them as positive rather than negative. Because he says this: he realized that even if he could get in front of him all the people who had done him wrong, there would still be nothing they could do. That he could shout at them, berate them, rant at them, but there would be nothing that they could do to make amends or put things right. They too would have to accept that what they've done is done. Because there is no going backwards. You can only move forwards. So make that a motto for yourself. Make that a motto for life. Just keep moving forwards.